Hi and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about the body mechanics as it applies to hammering at the anvil. Now this technique is something that an old German blacksmith tried to explain to me years ago, and at the time, I didn't really think it was necessary. I was very young, and um, I thought it was basically just a lot of wasted motion. But as I'm getting older and the hammers are getting heavier and the days are getting longer, this thing is starting to make sense, and I just wanted to share it with you because I think it's a very effective approach to hammering, and it's something that should be learned and practiced, especially if you're just starting out and you haven't really developed any bad habits yet that you're going to have to overcome later. So the basic principle that he was trying to get across to me was that you need to use your entire body when you're hammering. The worst thing you could possibly do is to isolate your arm and only use your arm to lift the hammer. So he would start the hammer stroke by using his leg muscles to drive his upper body upwards. This in turn would get the hammer moving. Once the hammer was moving, his arm would take over and lift the hammer the rest of the way. And on the downward stroke, he would simply follow the hammer down and basically get into position for the next strike. Now what I'm showing you here is hardly flawless technique, but even though I'm out of practice and my timing is way off, I'm still able to do a fair amount of hammering with very little effort. And I can tell you that once you get practiced at this and you get your legs conditioned to do the work, you really can hammer all day with very little effort. It's amazing how this little movement with your legs really helps to take the pressure off of your arm, and it actually does reduce the weight of the hammer because it gets the hammer moving, and once the hammer's moving, then it takes very little effort to keep it moving. That's one of Newton's laws. Now this is a technique that's used for heavy hammering. If you need to use a big hammer to move a lot of metal, or if you have a long heat and a lot of hammering to do to refine a long taper, or anytime you're sort of trying to go beyond your physical limits, then this is the way to approach that type of hammering because it gets your whole body involved in the process and it really takes the pressure off of any one muscle group. Obviously, if you need to do some accurate hammering, you need to lock your body in a little bit more so that you can control the path of the hammer. But the point is, you want to try to minimize the amount that you do that. If you can let your body work together and take the stress off of the muscle groups while you're hammering, then go ahead and do that because that really extends your working day. You want to minimize the amount of times that you lock your body up and use one muscle group to hammer. It's okay to do that, but if you do it all day, you're going to run into problems. So the system works. It's a valid method. It's I use it myself, and when I do forget about it or get let myself fall into some bad habits, it does start to hurt very quickly, and then when I revert back to this system, the pain goes away and I can just keep working because I'm using my whole body effectively. So take it slow, build up your endurance gradually, work yourself through the process, think through the whole process to so that it makes sense to you, and take it a little bit at a time, and before you know it, you'll be able to do a lot more hammering with less effort. So give it a shot, be patient with the whole thing, and hopefully you'll be smithing for years to come without any pain.